Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Peter Jennings, and I go by CSURAM88 across the daily fantasy industry. And I'm excited to be back again here at FantasyLabs doing a lineup review of the divisional round, which was one of the best playoff rounds I can remember just in terms of options and just a great slate overall across the industry. I'll be reviewing some lineups, though, here on DraftKings that hopefully will be helpful for you guys. And in addition, we'll be reviewing a Saturday-only tournament as well, just because we have the two-game slate coming up for the championship weekend. But we'll take a look here at the Thunderdome first. Really fun tournament, $5,300 buy-in on DraftKings with 110 people. I entered 3 times and had one cash for 12.5, so slightly losing contest for me. Had a great weekend overall. I'll review some of those lineups, and one frustrating aspect of this is if I would have played my cash game team, I would have tied for first, and I'll be reviewing that in a second. But taking a look at my top team, it was Aaron Rodgers, Freeman, Lewis, Adams, Bryant, Terrence Williams, so 2 Dallas guys, Jared Cook and Ezekiel Elliott with the Falcons D. So really just pretty much a game stack with Freeman and Lewis as the early running backs from Saturday, along with the Falcons D, and I was fortunate to cash here. Ownerships, you can see here, pretty chalky team with the exception, I guess, of Aaron Rodgers. There was more, of a distribution of quarterbacks taken, so I'll be looking at that as well. Second place team here was a Dak team. This one didn't have Dion Lewis, which was really the downfall. I had him heavy across the industry, but didn't have him here. Dak Prescott was the most heavily owned quarterback, and I did some pivots on this team because I started off without Dion Lewis and ended up on Spencer Ware. But basically another game stack here with the Patriots defense. And then finally, I had a Matt Ryan team that was a big stack of the Atlanta game, and it just didn't work out with Edelman. Or not Edelman, I'm sorry. Edelman obviously had a good game, but didn't work out with Spencer Ware. Doug Baldwin had a decent game, but you needed a little bit more. And the Chiefs' defense was obviously a huge disappointment relative to everything else. So these were the 3 teams. All of them were above average. Felt pretty good about it. The winning team right here, which looks very familiar, is Dak, Freeman, Dion Lewis, Des Bryant, Randall Cobb, Julian Edelman, Cook, Zeke, and the Falcons D. Very chalky team that looks really familiar to the cash game team that I played here, 205.28. So this was my cash game team that tied with a bunch of people in the Wildcat as well. Thought it was pretty chalky, and interesting that I didn't put this team in the tournament. I tried to make a little bit different teams, and maybe that was a mistake, but in general, I don't put my cash game team in the Thunderdome. I'll have it in other tournaments, but this was my cash game team for the weekend, and thought it was interesting. So looking through here, too, some really good lineups, obviously a high-scoring week, and the ownerships were definitely really intriguing. So I feel pretty good about my process here. It certainly was a really fun weekend. One thing that I thought would be interesting to take a look at here, and obviously I'm biased since I was fortunate enough to win this tournament, but I did think it was interesting to review this roster construction because it's applicable on the 2-game slate we have coming up. So just a 1K tournament, Saturday only. And the interesting thing that you'll see about my lineup here is I went with 5 Falcons. So I took Ryan, both the running backs, Taylor Gabriel, and Julio Jones. And this is an onslaught, the most you can take if any team is 5 players, and you have to have exposure to 3 teams on these 2-game slates. So I did run it back with Jimmy Graham, but then I had the Patriots guys, Patriots defense, Dion Lewis, and Julian Edelman. So that was a strategy that ended up working out, and normally you wouldn't want to do 5 guys on one team in most tournaments, but on a 2-game slate, I think it absolutely is applicable and will be something you'll have to look at here this week with the Packers-Falcons game, which has a historic high total. And obviously we have the Steelers and Patriots as well. So really interesting games, and onslaughts and game stacks certainly do make sense. So those are the teams for the weekend. Hope that was helpful for you guys. Certainly a really fun weekend. Hope it went well. Saw a lot of responses on Twitter that it was a good weekend for FantasyLabs subscribers, and hope that we can finish out the season strong. And certainly sad to see the NFL season go, but already excited for the upcoming season. Obviously, it's going to be fun to see who wins the Super Bowl here. So, again, I'm Peter Jennings. I go by CSURAM88 across the industry. Hope this was helpful, and as always, looking to see more FantasyLabs subscribers at the top of the leaderboard.